What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nick's Picks, the channel where we try to give you the most confident breakdown and analysis of the UFC fights. We're getting into UFC 115 this weekend. Moicano versus Duncan. Sleeper card is flying under the radar. I think they'll have some good quality of fights just based off the fact that some of these people may be fighting to stay in the UFC. Had a couple people missed weight and just a couple interesting breakdowns. I think, the Ricci fight, a few fights need to be talked about. I don't like how Moicano has been getting disrespected either based off of his, pedigree, experience and such. So we're gonna get into all of that, break it down. I think that the first thing that I want to get into is talking about Tommy McMillan. Here's a guy that trains with Sean O'Malley, and I think a lot of people, because of that, are thinking that the comparisons and such make him the next O'Malley fighting wise, and I don't think that that's the case. He is a striker and a very well-known wrestler, but coming up from the Contender Series, I don't want him to be overconfident, but this should be a very easy win for him. I'm actually picking for him to win the fight by knockout. I think the safest bet would be to pick for this fight not to go the distance. But I'm confident that he'll get the stoppage. The only thing is that if he gets frustrated or if, guy has a good chin, he might get on top, start wrestling. So look for a ground TKO or maybe a club and sub. But I think that the UFC kind of wants to build him, so this may be a layup fight. But I always am hesitant to pick people in their first fight in the UFC just because it's always such a big talent jump. But the guy that he's fighting, he told him at the weigh-ins, he doesn't belong there. So I think that he'll get the fight finished and make it look easy. Moving into fighters that missed weight, there were 3 fighters that missed weight. Yakev missed weight, Brandon Flowers missed weight, and Rafael Esteban missed weight. So not too big of a deal. I think that Darius Flowers has a chance to get an early knockout, especially him not even working to cut those extra pounds. But, we're going to get into the other fights. But 3 fighters missed weight, which is a big, big red flag when you're talking about fighting. Now we're going to talk about 2 fighters that did make weight. Tabitha Ricci versus Jandra Broa. Now, a lot of people are just, I think, caught in the, baby shark hype. And I think Tabitha Ricci probably has a future in the division, but she hasn't fought a lot of upper competition. And as soon as she reared her head up to near the top 15, we kind of saw her get beaten easily. So, I think Jandra Broa is hungry to get back to the title herself. And I think that some of the time where you have these superstars in the making, the other fighter skill level is usually discredited for whatever reason. But in fighting especially, you got to pay attention to who's fighting who. This could be a setup fight. Give me Jandra Broa to finish this fight by submission. Moving on to 2 fighters that I think may be on their way out of the UFC, but this could be their chance to kind of rekindle the flame. Darius Flowers, who missed weight, against Lando Venata, who's a longtime UFC veteran. I like to pick leaning on experience, but something in my gut is just telling me that Darius Flowers is going to find a way to win this fight. People have been riding Venata all week, and I just, usually when things are like that, it kind of goes the opposite way. So I like Darius Flowers in an early spot. If it goes beyond, I would say, the 2-minute mark in the first round, then it probably slides towards Venata matchup-wise. I think he'll probably, control the clock and try to get a veteran win controlling the points. But just give me that fight to go the distance. And the last fight we're breaking down, of course, the Moicano versus Duncan fight. Earlier in the week, man, Moicano was getting very disrespected, and I didn't really understand why. Duncan, to me, hasn't done really anything really impressive. His most impressive win, I think, was Terrence McKinney, and he got a submission and beat him in the first round. Kind of beat him at his own game. But I think that Moicano has fought the very much better competition, fought for a title, fought Islam. Give me him. So give me Moicano to win that fight by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a late submission or a late knockout. Give me Moicano in that fight, though. I would just take a money line to be safe. That's my fight breakdowns. Some bonus, I think I would pick Yakev by knockout. But this is going to be a pretty good fight card from start to finish. Tune back in with me.